Fellas, do you struggle controlling your emotions? Do you lash out, say things that you don't mean, overreact, and then you got to double back and go and repair and apologize and say, oh, that wasn't me, I wasn't myself, and this and that. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place, because in this video, I want to share with you 5 signs that you're an emotionally weak man. And by the end of the video, I hope that you have some more clarity, some more awareness of some of the behaviors you might be showing that may be ruining your relationships, maybe making things harder for you in your life, maybe at your job, with your kids, your interactions with other people. And I'm hopeful that by the end of this video, you'll be able to start working on some of these things, all right? Now, the key point of this video, man, is emotional intelligence, okay? I talk about this in my other videos as well. I'm a big advocate of this, all right? Because I did not possess this skill. And I know how important it is for men to be more emotionally intelligent, to be more emotionally mature, all right? A lot of us were not shown how to do this. A lot of us were not shown how to manage our emotional states, and we just kind of lash out and our emotions just take over us, okay? So what is emotional intelligence? It's being aware of your emotions. It's recognizing when you're feeling triggered, when you're activated, when you're starting to get pissed off. It's actually being able to recognize that shift in your body, right? It's also being aware of other people's emotional state around you. It's being aware of how you are affecting those around you. I used to make this mistake too, where I wasn't aware of how how I spoke, things that I said, how it was actually affecting other people. And I really learned this in my relationships. I didn't really struggle with it out in social settings and stuff like that. But in intimate relationships is where this type of behavior really comes out. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The first sign that you are an emotionally weak man is that you cannot regulate your emotions. You don't know how to regulate yourself when you get pissed off, when you feel that sense of disrespect for somebody. And what do I mean by regulating? So regulating your emotions, regulating yourself, your nervous system, it means being able to get back to a sense of calm. Okay. Now, a lot of us, myself included, would be very reactive to things. I wouldn't take the time to be able to slow down and pause and assess exactly what's going on. And it was like this automatic autopilot type of reaction to things. And I know a lot of us deal with that. Okay, so it's very key to be able to learn how to bring yourself back to a sense of being grounded, being centered, so that you can respond more and you're not so reactive to things. All right. Now, of course, that takes practice to do. That's not easy to do. I've had to go through therapy. Meditation has been very helpful, learning how to be more mindful, books, podcasts, and all of these skills have helped me become more aware of myself when I am triggered or when I need to take a step back. And I don't get it right all the time. This is an ongoing practice. Okay. So what does regulating yourself look like? It's being able to tap into your breathing, man, being able to slow yourself down, maybe even walking away from the situation, getting yourself away from whatever that activating moment is. I used to get into arguments and I just sucked at being able to remove myself from the argument. I would just get pulled into the drama. And that's just not how I want to be acting. That's not how I think you want to be acting. And it's just not how a man needs to carry himself. A man needs to have more self-control of himself and be able to walk away when the time calls for it. Now, the second sign that you are an emotionally weak man is that you like to argue. Okay. This is another thing I used to struggle with. And I didn't argue with everybody. Again, this was something that showed up in my relationships. And it wasn't like I was seeking an argument, but if I got into a conversation and, I felt defensive or something, or I felt misunderstood, or this is going to lead me to one of my other points too. But if I had to make sure I was getting my point across, these would tend to always lead to arguments. All right. And me personally, when I grew up, I never really saw how to not argue. I saw my family dynamic. I saw people just going at it. You know what I mean? And just going back and forth. But also, I grew up in a household with a lot of alcohol. So a lot of these arguments I saw were alcohol fueled and stuff like that. So I never really saw how does somebody calm themselves down? How does somebody not argue? I never really saw it. I didn't start learning how to do this until I was in my 30s, and really learning and picking up tools on how to improve this type of behavior. You don't want to be arguing, especially with women. This is where I really, really messed up. You don't want to be arguing with women. When you're arguing and going back and forth with women, it's almost like you're being a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting wrapped up in their emotional state, and you're not able to separate yourself from that. That's not how you want to operate as a man. And I myself have made this mistake multiple times, and I'm not proud of it. But again, I didn't know any better. I had to learn how to not do this. Okay. And it's funny because I see a lot of content on YouTube where people talk about this type of stuff, but they never talk about the mistakes that they've made. They never talk about how they actually learned how to stop doing it. They just say, you need to stop doing this. But they never really tap into like the fact that, yo, I used to mess this up all the time, you know, but that don't even matter. So this is just something that I've had to learn how to improve, man. Just stop arguing, man. It's not even worth it. Be mindful of where you place your time, where you place your energy. Pick your fights, pick your battles a bit better. Not everything needs to be an argument. And again, that takes practice. I have a couple of videos on that as well. Maybe I'll leave a card or something up here. I'll leave something in the description if you want to check that video out. Now, this leads to the third sign that you're an emotionally weak man. You always have to prove your point. You always got to be right. You always have to kind of get the upper hand and make sure that somebody understands you and they see it from your perspective. Bro, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your energy on that. It doesn't matter. If somebody doesn't understand where you're coming from or see your point, it is what it is. Take it and walk. All right, what you gonna do? You gonna beat it into somebody's head? You gonna make them see your point? Nah, we all grew up in different environments. We all conditioned a different way. Not everybody is going to see your point. So start to be mindful of when you're going so hard trying to, you know, get your lady to understand, you know, get your kids to understand, get your coworkers to understand, getting your boys to understand your point. It's a little bit different with your boys, man, because you can go back and forth with your boys. You know, you can have that banter, you can have those conversations and stuff like that. But stop doing that with women, you know, especially stop trying to prove your point. It's not that serious. Okay. If somebody don't understand, like I said, it is what it is. The fourth sign that you are weak as a man is that you can't let things go. This is something that I really struggled with, all right, especially in the relationship. Not even in the relationship, in my life in general. It was almost like when I got triggered, when something happened, I couldn't compartmentalize, you know? I like this word because, you know, I know NFL players have to do this. I always think about NFL players when they got to go play on Sunday and they dealing with personal shit outside of the game. They're able to set that aside and go focus on the game. This is something that I really had tough times dealing with. If something happened in my relationship, it was like I had to fix the problem. My mind would get locked into like, okay, I need to, you know, I got that fixer mind. I got that like problem solver mind. A lot of us dudes have this. And I would just get locked into like, okay, why is this person doing this? Why is she doing that? Why am I doing this? Why, you know, it's creating so much problems and you're just trying to figure out the solution, and that can like mentally handcuff you. It's like you can't even move on with your day. You can't let things go. Somebody cut you off in traffic, you can't let it go. You're pissed off. It's changed your whole mood. It's set the tone for your whole day. You know, that's a sign that you're emotionally weak, when things outside of you are getting the better of you. All right. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button. All right. I really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more content like this. Yo, y'all leave me some comments below. Let me know some things you've dealt with as a man that, you know, maybe made you come off as weak, you know, like you didn't have a good sense of self-control over yourself. What have you struggled with? All right. Now, for this last one, I'm going to lead right into it. Like I just previously said, this fifth sign that you are an emotionally weak man is that you let things outside of you dictate your mood, dictate your day, and dictate how you show up in the world. You let things that happen outside of you have so much of an impact on you. This is one thing that I struggled with just forever, you know, and this is one thing that I have to be mindful of even now. Even though I have these tools and I have these skills, again, I'm still a human being. I have to be very mindful of this type of stuff, because when things outside of you are controlling your mood, you're weak. You're just weak. You have no self-control. You don't have, you know, that's not masculine energy. You know, that's a trendy word right now. That's not being a man. You know, when you're letting every little thing hit you and bump you, and I mean metaphorically, I don't mean physically necessarily. You know, when things hit you and they bump you and they throw you off and they knock you off your square so easily, and then now you're not able to move in integrity. Now you're knocked out of your integrity because Joe Schmo done said something to you sideways. And now you're locked in on that. Like, I should have said this to him. Why not say this? Or your girl said something to you, like, and you're trying to fix her problem, and you're wrapped up in her emotional state now, as opposed to being able to stay grounded and keep yourself centered. Now you're getting pulled into the storms. This is a sign of an emotionally weak man. Somebody who is easily swayed. Somebody who is easily knocked off his square. All right. And again, I dealt with all of these, so I know the struggle, brother. All right, believe me. But I got a ton of content out here. If you want to learn how to improve these types of things, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I'm also a transformational life coach. I try to help men with their mindset and emotional mastery, self-awareness. And if that's something that you're interested in, man, be sure to reach out to me, man. I would love to be able to sit down and have a conversation, because my goal is to help other men start to become more aware of these types of patterns and behaviors so that we can be the best men that we can be. All right. That's what it's about. Again, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video. I appreciate it. And make sure you check out one of my other videos. All right. I'll leave one up here for you, and I'll see you there. All right. Peace.